liver issue. I had a lady come into me one time. This has been 21 years ago. And she came in, and this lady was literally orange, not just yellow. She was plum orange. Her whole body was orange. Her eyes, no white, they were orange. And she said, Walt, she was crying. She says, my doctor said I'm going to die. There's nothing else can be done. And she said, can you help me? Well, what's the first thing you do?
Pray.
Exactly. You pray. God, what do we need to do? You know, God tells us it's not our body. The 1 Corinthians 6 is very clear there. Christ bought it. We're just caretakers, and we're taking care of God's body. So God, what do you want us to do? And so we prayed, and we did milk thistle, we did dandelion root, and we did juicing, and God blessed it. Now for the yellow, we did the bentonite clay poultice and put that over her whole body, and then that pulled that toxin out. Like, you can have a baby, a new infant that has the issue of bilirubin, and they have the bilirubin light. If you don't have that bilirubin light, you can just put bentonite clay on that baby, and that'll pull that jaundice right out, that yellow right out. But that's what we did, and the lady's still alive today, doing very well.
Wow.
Well, the first thing I had to ask her, I said, ma'am, do you drink? Well, yes, she had an issue of drinking. And I said, have you quit drinking? And she says, yes, I have. I said, well, we're 50% of the way now. I mean, that's the biggest part. You quit the alcohol, now we can do something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is the biggest hit to the liver in our society, isn't it? Is the alcohol. I also wanted to ask you, Walt, about eye health, eye care for infections, for wounds, for eye problems.
I had a fellow that came and worked with me a number of years ago, and he was a retired ophthalmologist, and he also he was an ND, doctor of naturopathic medicine. He just wanted to come hang out and help me, and he would come. He's probably stayed with me about 2.5 years. And anytime someone came in with eye issues, I'd put Bill on them, and I'd say, Bill, help us with this eye issue. And the first question he would ask, I don't care what problem they had with their eyes, how much water do you drink? And water's so big. I mean, Batman Jotty, I'm sure you've read Your Body's Many Cries for Water. Batman Jotty says that every function in the body is dependent on water.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And one of the problems I see with people is when they drink water, they just down a whole bunch of it. Well, one of the friends of Einstein, he found that when we drink more than 2 to 3 ounces of water, it goes into free flow, and we just urinate it off. So if you drink 8 ounces of water, which is easy to do if you're thirsty, well, only 2 to 3 ounces absorbed, 5 to 6 is being urinated off. So it's kind of like pouring a 5-gallon bucket of water on a tomato plant. It's going to run off versus a drip line, which is going to saturate deep in. And so the first thing I look at as I look at eye issues, I look at, is there adequate hydration? Let's say there's a scratch to the eye. A good friend of mine yesterday got hit in the eye, and I was scratched, and she went to her eye doctor, and so he put some things on it. But probably the best things I have found to deal with a scratched eye is vitamin E oil. Vitamin E oil. Just take you can either pour the oil on there, or you can take a vitamin E capsule, poke it with a needle, and then drop, fill the eye with some oil there, and they blink it, and it's amazing how quick it will heal that scratched eye. Now, your optometrist, when he went to optometry school, he actually learned to put a flaxseed. You can actually roll the eye back with a pencil and put 1 or 2 flax seeds up in there and let it sit. I personally don't like that. I would rather, how when your wife is making a recipe and she's using the slimy stuff from soaking flax seeds instead of using eggs, well, you take that slimy stuff and put that in the eye, and that would be better than just sticking that flaxseed. And what's happening is the moisture of the eye wets the flaxseed. That sliminess comes off, but it's less irritating to put some flaxseed in some water, make that slimy stuff that your wife uses for a recipe, and put that in the eye. And that's the best thing I found for a scratched eye.